get down to the pass rush scheme. I broke it down with some practice clips, right? And then we'll get to the game clips. And I keep things very simple, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is simply ball get off, right? Being able to really align yourself properly and really focus on getting off the ball. This drill here is very simple, low impact, right? I don't really want to step over that's too high because you don't want guys popping up. But this drill is simply to get them in a three-point stance, right? And that front foot is snug against the bag right there with their back foot, right? Everybody's different. Just getting it in a position to where your butt's high enough, you have that perfect lean, get your hand out in front of the bag, right? This is on a cadence. So when we move our foot and when we move the ball, right, they're getting off the ball. The focus is to drive right at that 45-degree, almost like a sprinter stance. And the reason the bag is there is to make sure when they're coming out of their hips and they really drive to punch that knee up, then accelerate. All right, the piece that I added on there is I'm now the quarterback, right? And when I say the quarterback, I can give them a direction or I can show them I'm going to pass. What you want to see is not only the get off, but then how they change direction or accelerate to now make a move on the quarterback. The transition from coming out of your stance to notice a pass set versus a run set, I believe is vital. And depending on what type of structure of defense you play, we're a 3-4 here, right? So our kids are really in 4 eyes a lot of times, but I have to prepare them for those opportunities that we will get in the 4 down, that we will get in those opportunities to go rush the passer. And I do believe being able to get off the ball effectively is so crucial to getting there. So what we'll see here, again, we'll go off a ball key. You'll see them come off the ball here. Great job right there on that first initial step. Again, flat back, being able to punch that knee. Both guys are in that nice 45-degree angle. They're not overemphasizing lifting their knee up. They're simply driving. You see them have that forward lean. Right after they get that foot down, I don't want them chopping to read, right? So what I'll do is I'll give them the direction or I'll show pass as soon as that foot hits the ground over that last bag, right? And what you'll see here is now they'll accelerate to finish on the quarterback, right? No wasted steps. The guy that's on the backside, Osiris, number 17, he's going to be responsible for securing and breaking the elbow, which you see him going to. And then Brandon Brown, which is on the right, number 90, he's going to be responsible for matching the hands, right? Get that hand as big as you can. So now you're focusing on the backside of the quarterback and the front side of the quarterback. So you can accomplish so many things in this drill. It's very simple, right? Putting that bag there to overemphasize that 45-degree really coming out of your stance. You're working on change of direction. You're working on noticing hi-hat versus run. And you're also working on finishing on the quarterback, right? So when it comes down to really breaking it down to the fundamentals of what it means to even start to pass rush, right? It really comes down to getting off the ball and being able to change directions. Again, you'll see it here. Second rep for those guys. And obviously you change their stance. You do right hand and then left hand. They have to get comfortable with being able to do both. All right, right there again, boom, once that foot is on the ground, now they change the direction, right, 3 to 4 yards, right, and then shut it down, low impact. All right, low impact. Again, guys are different here. Just wanted to show you again. You'll see right here, number 15, wasted steps in order to change direction, right? He struggles a bit with tight hips. And this is a great way to really see and notice. You see Joe right here, number 94 to the right. He doesn't get as high up the field before he changes direction. He's flat down the line of scrimmage. But again, just seeing their get off right here, right? Good knee drive by both of them, almost in a sprinter stance, forward lean. All right, no wasted steps once we change direction. Really good job by both of those guys there. All right, again, now what you'll see is we change it up. All right, now we got the pass set. Really good job by Tremaine on the right side here, number 15, right? He has to match the hands. You see Joe right here on the left side almost try to anticipate what's going on. You see him raise up and then re-accelerate. Okay, right? So that's something that you talk about as far as getting off, no wasted movement, being able to put that foot in the ground and change direction, secure that tackle. Now he has to break the elbow. Here's another piece that you can just add on to it, right? Listen, they're still kids, right? And they still love to compete. So what I'll do is now I'll stand and I'll put my hand out. Okay, and this part of it is still working on the get off and the acceleration, but now also that forward lean by them reaching for a goal. And it's a great way to just have a competition there. All right, don't when they're trying to compete, a lot of times they forget about the technique. All right, they forget about the technique, which in this situation right here, you see Osiris here on the left side. The foot that he has up is the foot that he brings over the bag, right? Which is different than his rep from before. But because he's trying to compete, he pushes off with that back foot, now brings his front foot over the bag, right? But he's still able to accelerate. So those are some of just the minor things you're able to pick up and see when guys are getting off the ball with that back foot. If they have that back foot back, they should drive off that front one to really get out to accelerate once they start their pass rush. No different here. Again, just letting those guys compete, right? Trying to get to that point as soon as possible. All right, now here's the second piece, right? Being nimble on their feet. All right, being nimble on their feet. And these are just the main things to focus on before we get to the scheme and how to draw it up. And I'll talk about how that's going to translate. But this next piece is just working on their agility. Again, starting them in their stance. Now they're doing 2 feet, right? We'll talk about how they accelerate once we get to the point of attack on an offensive lineman. But being able to get off the ball, right here, we'll go 2 in a hole. And again, I'll give them a direction. Now it's just left or right, right? Depending on which direction I give them here, what I tell them is drop that inside, right? Being able to flip those hips and throw that outside reach, right? That we talk about a violent upper body, right? Being able to finish on the quarterback, dropping that inside shoulder, but now reaching or diving, as you would say, with the outside arm. The more violent you are with it, the more you'll get that outside hip to turn the corner. These are for my guys that are on the edge that win with speed, right? Or you have to get back down to the quarterback once you get past that man or even to the offensive lineman. So this simulates dropping that hip, being able to change direction, right? Throwing that outside reach or dive and returning back downhill. Really good job. You want to time it up to where they have enough time to get over that last one, right? But they're not waiting. As soon as they put that foot in the ground, boom, they can drop, dive with that outside half, and reach to finish. Same thing here with these two. Boom, throw that outside half. You can see 15. If you look here, he rounds it off instead of really flipping that hip as soon as he puts that foot on the ground. It's a clear difference between Joe right here on the left and T-Bell, right? So again, that's something you emphasize. He throws that reach too late, right? As soon as you put it down, boom, he needs to throw it right now, right? Instead of running some more steps and then throwing it, right? So that's just important, especially with guys with stiff hips. That's something that they struggle with, right? Now let's just go to crossing the slide. All right, so in this drill, what I teach my kids is once you get to the point of attack, you're almost in the position to where we say we'll buzz our feet, right? You're in that forward lean, buzzing your feet. Well, I try to simulate making it really tough on these guys, right? So when we talk about crossing the slide, it's really using their momentum against them. So what I do is I start them head up in front of me and I tell them to start buzzing their feet. I won't tell them which hand I'll throw up, right? And it's important just to start them in the middle to overemphasize them getting their hips around. So I'll do 3 total reps, right? First rep, I'll throw right or left hand. They have to defeat it, right? 2 moves, whether double swipe, club rip. We'll do that twice. And then on third one, I tell them to finish with a reach. All right. And then all I'll simply do is once I throw that first hand and they defeat it, I'll flip with them right here. Again, I'll do it again. Right. And then on that third one right here, boom, club rip and throw that reach. Again, I don't force them and tell them what move to do. Some guys are better doing double swipe, club rip. And some guys are even better doing it one side to the other. I let them figure it out for themselves, and then I tweak whatever they should do or shouldn't do. So right here, Joe was really good. I always tell them to get back in the middle instead of trying to guess which arm I'm going to throw. So right here, I try to throw this outside because he was shaded inside, but he does a really good job with those hands on the club rip, boom, and then reach. And then I give him a little love tap at the end because that's a big boy moving pretty violently, and I don't want him hitting me, beating me up, all right?